Mountain States Legal Foundation is pleased to present to you the 12 Days of Christmas. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a patch of the Gadsden flag.
In our JR versus Harrison School District 2 case, we're fighting for the right of Jaden Rodriguez to wear the Gadsden flag to school as a symbol of patriotism and pride in his country. We're rejecting the efforts by activist educators to rewrite history with a woke agenda.
On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 teachers' speech.
In our Damiano versus Grants Pass School District case, we're fighting to keep the jobs of 2 of the few remaining dissenters from woke orthodoxy in the public schools in the state of Oregon.
On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a challenge to a 3-day wait.
So we've got our Garcia v. Polis case, which is about Colorado's 3-day waiting period to acquire firearms. And that's important because a right delayed is a right denied.
On the fourth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 4 ranching groups.
Our Idaho Stockwater case represents a group of ranchers who, along with the state of Idaho, are pushing back on the federal government. The federal government says it does not have to comply with Idaho law when it comes to the ranchers' rights to use stockwater on federal grazing lands. But in this important case, we're arguing that the federal government is not above the law.
On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 5 victories.
In Vanderstock v. Garland, we're working to prevent the ATF from usurping congressional authority in its move to expand the definitions of frame and receiver, as well as what qualifies as a firearm under its new final rule. If allowed to continue, this not only sets a dangerous precedent for the ATF to decide what gets regulated and how, but it does so while stepping on the Second Amendment as it pertains to the self-manufacture of firearms and the businesses surrounding it that have long been a part of American history and tradition since the very founding of this country.
On the 6th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 6 days in court.
This year, Mountain States Legal Foundation had 6 arguments in courts throughout the country. My favorite was Young versus the Colorado Department of Corrections, which we had right here in Denver before the 10th Circuit. In that case, Josh Young, a prison guard, was forced to undergo really aggressive DEI training, and we're suing under Title VII to protect his equal protection rights, and we look forward to seeing the result from the 10th Circuit.
On the 7th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 7 over-regulators.
Our case for the Independent Petroleum Association of New Mexico, representing the interests of small oil and gas producers in that state, who are pushing back against the state regulators who are unlawfully and unreasonably trying to drive them out of business.
On the 8th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 8 rounds at OCR.
This year, we filed 8 different administrative complaints with the Office for Civil Rights. That's an agency within the Department of Education that enforces civil rights laws like Title VI and Title IX. And we filed against schools like the University of California at Berkeley based on the fact that they have a segregated graduation every summer. And already we've heard from the Office for Civil Rights that they've opened our complaint and are investigating the University of California. And that doesn't even include the multiple other complaints that we filed right here in Denver against the Denver Public School System for discriminating against students and parents and even community members like myself on the basis of race. And we look forward to seeing those complaints opened and investigated as well.
On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 900 clients.
So we have our Brigida versus Buttigieg in the FAA case, where we're seeking to recover damages for would-be air traffic controllers who are discriminated against on the basis of their race.
On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me more than 10 rounds of mag.
In Sullivan v. Ferguson, we're working to ensure that the right to decide how Washington citizens defend their own lives remains with Washington citizens. In a move that bars access to standard capacity magazines, the Washington state government's mag ban only serves to stop its citizens from being able to defend themselves and their loved ones effectively against those who would wish them harm.
On the 11th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 11 judges en banc.
Center for Biological Diversity versus Holland was a case where environmentalist groups were trying to expand the grizzly bear's natural territory range by targeting the Fish and Wildlife Service's species recovery plans at a time when grizzly bear attacks were actually on the rise. Thankfully, we were there to fight them at every turn, starting at the district court, going all the way through the 9th Circuit, and if they try to go to the Supreme Court, we'll be there to fight them again.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 circuit courts.
There are 12 circuit courts throughout the country, and they go from Hawaii to the East Coast. And we've filed briefs in nearly all of those circuit courts this year, from Massachusetts to Tennessee to New York to Missouri to Texas to Oregon. We file all over the country. And so while our name, Mountain States Legal Foundation, may imply that we're regional in focus, we're also national in impact. As we approach the end of 2023, I just want to reach out and thank all of our supporters, contributors, our family members, and our friends on a great 2023. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah, and we'll see you in 2024.